Hi, I am Dr. Abhishek Joshi, and in this video lecture I am going to discuss about the intermodal dispersion, that is within the different modes, and the fiber dispersion in multi-mode and single mode fiber. So this is our topic for this lecture. So let's start with intermodal dispersion. Inter means different and modal means the pattern. So when the different pattern mixes, it is intermodal dispersion. So the pulse broadening due to the intermodal dispersion, sometimes referred to as simply as the modal or the mode dispersion, results from the propagation delay difference between the modes within a multi-mode fiber. As the different modes which constitutes a pulse in a multi-mode fiber travels along the channel at different group velocities, the pulse width at the output is dependent upon the transmission times of the slowest and the fastest mode. The dispersion mechanism creates the fundamental difference in the overall dispersion for the three types of the fiber shown in the figure, as we can see in this figure. So the multi-mode step index fiber exhibits a large amount of the intermodal dispersion, which gives to the greatest pulse broadening, as we have discussed in our previous lecture. So however, the intermodal dispersion in multi-mode may be reduced by the adoption of an optimum refractive index profile. So this means we can change the refractive index profile such that we can achieve the minimum intermodal dispersion, so which is provided by the near profile or near parabolic profile of the most graded index fibers. So hence the overall pulse broadening in multi-mode graded index fiber is far less than the obtained in multi-mode step index fiber, typically by the factor of 100. So thus, the graded index fiber used with multi-mode source gives a tremendous bandwidth advantage over the multi-mode step index fibers. So in a multi-mode step index fiber, we know that the light is propagating with the multiple TIRs, as we can see here, and the axial ray we can see at the center. So the air is having the refractive index N naught that equals to 1, and here we have the theta, that is the acceptance angle. So the acceptance angle is given by theta A. So we have the extreme meridional rays, and for the core we have the refractive index N1. For the cladding we are having the refractive index N2. So this figure the path taken by the axial and the extreme meridional ray in a perfect multi-mode step index fiber, where we have the minimum time that is we can calculate, that is given by the distance by velocity, that is equals to the distance, that is L, that is length of the fiber, and velocity can be calculated as, that is the phase velocity can be calculated as C by N1. So we are getting CL, we have the phase velocity C by N1, and we are getting the time, minimum time, that is L N1 by C, where N1 is the refractive index of the core and C is the velocity of light in a vacuum, and the extreme meridional ray exhibits the maximum delay time, that is given by L by cos of theta divided by C of C by N1. So we are getting L N1 by C cos theta. So using the Snell's law of refraction at the core cladding interface, the following equation, we are having the critical angle, that is sin phi c, that is equals to N2 by N1, that is equals to cos of theta, where N2 is the refractive index of the cladding. Further substituting into the equation for cos of theta, we are having the T maximum, that is time, that is equals to L N1 square by C N2, where N1 is the refractive index of core and N2 is the refractive index of cladding. The delay difference, that is del Ts, between the extreme meridional ray and the axial ray may be obtained by subtracting from the equations. So hence we are getting, that is del Ts, that is maximum time minus minimum time. We are getting L N1 square by C(n2) minus ln1 by C. So we're getting the delta, that is the relative refractive index difference, that is n1 square minus n2 square by 2n1, and hence, however, when delta, then the definition by equation we are having the relative refractive index difference may be approximated. So this is approximate calculation, that is n1 minus n2 by n2, and rearranging the equations we are getting the delay that is given by del Ts, that is ln1 by C, that is n1 minus n2 by n2, and ln1 delta by C. So substituting delta, which gives the final expression, that is L numerical aperture whole square divided by 2n1 by C. So next, for the multi-mode step index fiber. So in multi-mode there are different patterns of light or the modes. So again, considering the perfect step index fiber, another useful quantity with regard to the intermodal dispersion on optical fiber link is the RMS pulse broadening resulting from the dispersion mechanism along the fiber when the optical input to the fiber is a pulse, that is PIT, that is the input pulse of the unit area. As we can see in the figure, we are having the pulse of unit area PIT. So we know that if we integrate this pulse for the entire duration, that is from del Ts by 2 minus del Ts by 2 to plus del Ts by 2, we will get that is integration that is equals to 1, because it is having an amplitude of 1 by del Ts. So an illustration of the light input to the multi-mode step index fiber considering an ideal pulse or a rectangular function with unit area. So the RMS pulse broadening at the fiber output due to the intermodal dispersion for the multi-mode step index fiber, that is sigma s, may be given in terms of the variance. So we have the variance, that is sigma s square, that is equals to m2 minus m1 square, where m1 is the first temporal moment which is equivalent to the mean value of the pulse. We have the m2, that is the second temporal moment, that is equivalent to the mean square value of the pulse, that is equals to m1, that is integration from minus infinite to infinite t times of the PIT dt. Second temporal moment is given by m2, that is integration from minus infinite to infinite t square PIT dt. So the mean value m1 for the unit input pulse of figure is 0, and assuming this is maintained for the output pulse. So by equation we are getting the sigma s square, that is the second temporal moment, that is equals to integration from minus infinite to infinite t square PIT dt. Integrating over the limits of the input pulse and substituting for PIT over the range gives, so we are getting, after the substitution, that is sigma s square, that is integrating from minus del Ts by 2 to plus del Ts by 2, and the PIT is given by 1 by del Ts, and t square is already there. So we are having the, after the integration and simplifying, we are getting 1 by 3 del Ts by 2 by 2 whole square. So we, after substitution of the del Ts value, we are getting sigma s as L times of n1 delta by 2 under root 3, and finally the expression, that is L numerical aperture whole square divided by 4 times under root 3 n1c. So there's one numerical based on this. A 6 kilometer optical link consists of a multi-mode step index fiber with a core refractive index of 1.5. So we are having n1 and a relative refractive index difference. So delta is also given. So estimate the delay difference between the slowest and the fastest mode at the fiber output. So this is the first part. The second part, we have to calculate the RMS pulse broadening due to the intermodal dispersion on the link. So that we have discussed in the previous slide, and the maximum bit rate that may be obtained without the substantial error on the link, assuming only intermodal dispersion. So same we have to calculate for the third part. And the bandwidth length product, so bandwidth multiplied by the length of the fiber considering to the part C. So we have that is del TS. So del TS, that is approximately equals to L N1 delta by C. So substituting the value of L, that is given by 6 kilometers. So 6 kilometer, N1 is given by 1.5 and delta is given by 1%, that is 0.01, and speed of light we know 3 into 10 per 8. Substituting, we are getting 300 nanoseconds. The second part is simply sigma s. So sigma s, substituting the values in sigma s, so the formula which we have discussed in the previous slide, the same formula is used here, and we are getting 86.7. Now the total bandwidth, the bit rate can be calculated, that is 1 by 2 del tau, and this tau is nothing but del TS. So we have this value of del TS as 300. So 2 multiplied by 2, we are getting 600 and into 10 to the 9, so 1.7 megabits per second. Similarly, for the alternate way is, that is 0.2 by sigma s. So sigma s value is 86.7. Substituting the same here, we are getting 2.3 megabits per second. Now for the optimum bandwidth length product, we are getting 2.3 multiplied by 6, we are getting 13.8 megahertz kilometer. So the RMS pulse broadening for a multi-mode gradient index fiber is given by, that is sigma g for gradient index, that is L N1 del square by 20 under root 3 into C. So for a multi-mode gradient index fiber, let's solve this numerical. Compare the RMS pulse broadening per kilometer due to the intermodal dispersion for a multi-mode step index fiber with the corresponding RMS pulses broadening for the optimum near parabolic profile gradient index fiber with the same core axis refractive index and the relative refractive index difference. So we have the sigma s over the 6 kilometer of fiber is 86.7, hence the RMS pulse broadening per kilometer for the multi-mode step index fiber is given by sigma s by L, and that is equals to 86.7 by 6, and we are getting 14.4 nanoseconds per kilometer. So the RMS pulse broadening for gradient index fiber, substituting the value, we are getting 14.4 picoseconds per kilometer. So the overall dispersion is nothing but the addition of the chromatic dispersion and the non-chromatic dispersion. So we are having the overall dispersion as chromatic and the intermodal dispersion. So that is sigma t, that is given by sigma c square plus sigma n square under root. So sigma c is the intramodal dispersion or chromatic broadening, as sigma n is the intermodal broadening caused by the delay difference between the modes, and sigma s for the multi-mode step index fiber and sigma g for the multi-mode gradient index fiber. So the chromatic term, that is sigma c, consists of the pulse broadening due to the both material and waveguide dispersion. However, since waveguide dispersion is generally negligible compared with the material dispersion in a multi-mode fiber, so we consider that sigma c equals to sigma m. So in a case of the single mode fiber, the material dispersion parameter dm defined by lambda by c d2 by n by d lambda square. There we have n equals to n1 and n2 for the core or the cladding respectively. So the waveguide dispersion parameter, that is dw, which may be obtained from the equation by substituting, that is tau g, that is dw, that is equals to minus times of n1 minus n2 by lambda c, v, that is normalized frequency, d2 vv by dv square. Since the normalized propagation constant beta for a specific fiber is dependent on the v, so then the normalized waveguide dispersion coefficient, that is vd square vv by dv square, also depends on v. So latter function is also universal parameter which plays a central role in the theory of single mode fiber. So profile dispersion parameter, that is dp, which is proportional to d delta by d lambda. So here we can see the graph. Here we have the total dispersion, that is nothing but the material dispersion, waveguide dispersion, and the polarization dispersion, that is dP, and the unit is picoseconds per nanometer per kilometer. So the total dispersion we can see at this 1300 nanometers, it's having the minimum. So this minimum dispersion is at this range. So the waveguide dispersion is having the minima at this point, that is around 800 nanometers, and we are having the material dispersion which is close to 1300 micrometer, 1.3 micrometer or 1300 nanometer of range. So this total dispersion can be written as, that is lambda S naught by 4, 1 minus lambda naught by lambda, and the multi-mode step index fiber has a numerical aperture of 0.3. Let's solve this numerical, where the core refractive index of 1.4, the material dispersion parameter for the fiber is 250 picoseconds nanometer per kilometer, which makes the material dispersion the totally dominating chromatic dispersion mechanism. Estimate the total RMS pulse broadening per kilometer when the fiber is used with an LED source of RMS spectral width, that is 15 nanometers, and the corresponding bandwidth length product for the fiber. So the RMS pulse broadening per kilometer due to the material dispersion may be obtained as, that is sigma m for 1 kilometer can be calculated by substituting the value in the formula, that is sigma lambda L lambda by C d2 n1 by d lambda square. So substituting, we are having the sigma lambda as 50, L, that is length is 1 kilometer, and d2 n1 by d lambda square is given by 250 picoseconds. So by substituting value, we are getting 12.5 nanoseconds per kilometer. So simply sigma s can be calculated using the formula L numerical aperture square by 4 under root 3 n1c. Substituting, we are getting 29.9 nanoseconds per kilometer. So total dispersion parameter sigma t can be calculated as sigma m square plus sigma s square under root. So substituting both the values, we are getting 32.4 nanoseconds per kilometer. So the bandwidth length product, that is B optimum multiplied by length, that is 0.2 by sigma t, we are getting 6.2 megahertz per kilometer. So this is one more numerical, that is a typical single mode fiber has a zero dispersion wavelength of 1.31 micrometer with a dispersion slope of 0.09 picoseconds per nanometer per kilometer. Compare the total first order dispersion for the fiber at the wavelength of 1.2 and 1.55 micrometers when the material dispersion and the profile dispersion at the later wavelength, we are having the 13.5 picoseconds per nanometer per kilometer and 0.4 picoseconds per nanometer per kilometer respectively. Determine the waveguide dispersion at this wavelength. So the total first order dispersion for the fiber at the two wavelength may be obtained as, that is dt at 1280 nanometers can be calculated, that is lambda s naught by 4, that is 1 minus lambda naught by lambda. So substituting values, we are getting minus 2.8 picoseconds nanometer per kilometer. The total dispersion for this value, we are getting 17.1 picoseconds per nanometer per kilometer. So for the waveguide dispersion for 1.55 micrometer wavelength, we are having the waveguide dispersion can be calculated as total dispersion minus material dispersion plus the dP. So we are having 17.1 minus 13.5 plus 0.4, so we are getting 3.2 picoseconds per nanometer per kilometer. So in this video lecture, we have discussed about the intermodal dispersion, and in this intermodal dispersion, we have discussed for the multi-mode step index fiber. Then we have discussed about the multi-mode graded index fiber, and we have discussed about the overall fiber dispersion, that is a combination of the intramodal and the intermodal. So we have the total dispersion if you are talking about, so it's a combination of the intramodal plus the intermodal dispersion, where we have taken the square terms, and the intramodal is having the waveguide and the material dispersion. So this we have substituted and we have further solved. Then we have discussed about the single mode fiber and the dispersion parameters. So here I am going to stop this lecture. Thank you.